Shaq took to Instagram last week to clown my gut on ESPN. The Lakers host the Suns as well, both looking for their first win. And it's time for some GOAT talk. With that being said, earlier this week, Shaquille O'Neal had some interesting comments about LeBron for the LA Times, saying this: "I know what he's doing. Championships are great, but he's trying to pass up Kareem. That's what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing, because now if you pass Kareem up, there ain't no talk about who the best player ever is. He's got 4 rings, and he becomes the highest scorer in the NBA history. He's the best ever, and there's nothing you can say." Okay, Stephen A. So Shaq says that if LeBron becomes the highest scorer in NBA history, he will be the GOAT. And currently, LeBron needs just under 3,000 points to pass Kareem. So, Stephen A., can LeBron go down as the greatest of all time?
No, not to me. And let me be very clear in addressing Shaquille O'Neal, my little big brother, who I love dearly. That brother knows when he's saying something ignorant, and he just did. And he did it on purpose. I'm going to get him here. And let me tell you why. Because based on what Shaquille O'Neal's description of it, Kendrick Perkins, is, I guess we can say Karl Malone's the best, is the second best player of all time. Karl Malone retired as the second greatest player in NBA history. I mean, that's what we doing now? That's what we doing? It's about points now? That's what we doing? No. It's not just about points. It's about the chip. And it's not just about the chip. It's about the road you travel to get to that point. And where people are missing my point, and I know Kendrick Perkins disagrees, but that's okay. You know, because I understand how phenomenal LeBron is. He's on the Mount Rushmore. I got him number 2 all time in the history of basketball. I mean, stop the presses, Kendrick Perkins. I don't know if you noticed, but this is an incredible insult to the people who love LeBron James. How dare me say he's number 2 all time? I mean, I just sliced his career. I've just discredited him. I've just said, yo, you a scrub. You're horrible. I got him number 2 in the history of basketball since it started being played in 1946 and became the NBA in 1950. I got him number 2 all time. And you would think I've crucified this man, but so be it. Here's the deal. I saw what Jordan had to endure to get to where he was and to stay there. And the NBA game was very different back then, significantly rougher, and the road to prosperity was very, very much harder, okay? And that is what stands out in my mind. To be 6-0 in NBA Finals, all right? 6 NBA Finals MVPs, unblemished in championship round competition. Would have won 8-0 if he hadn't retired after his father passed away. In championship rounds, completely owned the entire decade without a blemish. I'm telling you right now, to me, because of that, and because of what I saw from the Bad Boy Pistons, because of what I saw from the Knicks, because of the Cleveland Cavaliers with Mark Price, Larry Nance, Matt Doherty, and those boys, because of all of those teams, the Phoenix Suns, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton in Seattle, Barkley and Marley and Kevin Johnson in Phoenix, and all of that other stuff, what I saw is what I saw. And to me, LeBron can't eclipse that. I'm going to always have MJ number 1 if the question is whether or not LeBron James or him is number 1. It's going to always be MJ for me.
You know why? You know why? Because as you get older, like my grandmother, right, 86 years old, and I go to her house and, you know, sometimes she does things that aggravate me. And I have to remind myself that the old saying, old people are what, Stephen A? They're stuck in their ways.
Stuck in their ways.
Okay? And you know what? And you and I have been having great conversation on here, and we're going to continue to have great conversation today because I'm not going to let you raise my blood pressure up. I'm not about to sit up here and dive into, you know, how much pressure LeBron James had out of probably the most pressure out of any athlete in sports history. I'm not about to go into that today. I'm not about to go into how you just talked about Shaquille O'Neal saying the points and passing up Kareem and left out the fact that he said that he had 4 titles when you tried to make your Karl Malone comparison. I'm not going to even point that out today. But this is what I will tell you.
Kareem has 6 titles, but go ahead.
No. I'm saying you said that's what we're doing now when you were talking about Karl Malone.
Got it.
But Shaq said that he has 4 titles. I think Shaq is telling the truth. And look, here's a problem. this is the problem that I have when you come on here talking about these different eras, okay? I was in that era. I may look way older than LeBron James, and I understand I done gained 70 pounds of retirement weight, and I get all that, right? But we came into the NBA at the same time, where he had to go against a Paul Pierce, a Joe Johnson, a Kobe Bryant, a Dwayne Wade. The list goes on. And I don't want to come on here and discredit Thunder Dan, but do you know what LeBron James would have did to Thunder Dan or Jeff Hornacek?
Without question.
Or any of those guys? And I don't even want to bring up my guy Kevin Johnson because he just opened up this fabulous restaurant right next door to the ESPN studio, that soul food spot that I went to this past couple days.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Spot there?
Look.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's
right on the corner.
Yes, right on the corner. I eat there every day. The oxtails are off the chain, by the way.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Stephen A. We're starting to see multiple players come out and say this. You know, Shaq done said it. We hear the great Magic Johnson starting to lean that way. We hear other former players starting to say the same thing. Sooner or later, you're going to get on board with us, and you're going to realize that LeBron James is just different. No disrespect to Michael Jordan, because I got Michael Jordan number 2 on my list. And by the way, every time you see me, I don't have LeBron on my feet. I have the J's on my feet. I love Michael Jordan. But at the end of the day, LeBron James is just something different. Yeah,
whatever.
We don't have time to fully deal with this because Molly's deal is coming up next. I got to get people paid. Big Perk, it is so good to see you. You haven't been on the show lately. We need you on
too,
more.
Molly.
And
this roster right now, the Warriors may win it all. They may win it all this year. It all comes down to the health of Klay Thompson. That's where I'm at, KP.
You know what, Stephen A, is so hard to argue with you on that point, right? But here's my argument. I do have the Golden State Warriors getting to the Western Conference. I say that, you know, they have enough talent. We all know how special.
Western Conference Finals. Okay, you said Western Conference. I'm saying I just wanted to make sure you said Finals. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Western Conference Finals. And we know how special Steph Curry is. And what I'm watching about the Warriors is their culture. And we know about the Lakers. But it's one team that we're sleeping on right now. It's one team that we're sleeping on. And before I get to that team, let me tell you why I wouldn't pick the Warriors to win it all. Because Draymond Green is not the Draymond Green of old. He still has the high IQ, but his talent has taken a step down, right? He looked like a tight end playing basketball last night. I mean, he looked horrible. But past that, the Utah Jazz are over there just sitting there quiet. The Utah Jazz. And people are sleeping on them. I know last year it didn't end well for them. Mike Conley was hurt in and out of the lineup. But when you look at what they have, they're not lacking at anything. They have rim protection. They have a live threat in Rudy Gobert. They have Donovan Mitchell, who is a superstar, a walking bucket. Now you pair him alongside Mike Conley, Bogdanovich, who knocked down 3 after 3. You have Joe Ingles, who does all the little things and could shoot the lights out. And then you bring it in Jordan Clarkson, the 6th man of the year, former 6th man of the year from last year. So when I look at the Golden State Warriors, it wouldn't be surprised me if they happen to get to the finals. I wouldn't be surprised. But what I'm telling you, I would not jump on the limb and say, even with a healthy Klay, that they could win the title. They can't win the title because Draymond Green has taken a step back offensively. Okay. He used to, remember Stephen A, he had some big moments where Draymond Green used to get 25, 30 points. Yeah, a lot of those games. And we haven't saw that Draymond in a long time.
Let me come back at you with that couple of things. I'm glad you brought this up because basketball talking, you know I love it. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you why I think you're wrong. First of all, there's no doubt that Draymond Green took a step back. But I don't think he's incapable of taking a step forward. What we're really talking about is he lost his shot. Over the last 2 or 3 years, Draymond Green ain't shooting the damn basketball well. But that's about it. When I see his athleticism, when I see his motor, When I see his defensive tenacity and abilities, I don't see shrinkage there. It's just that he's not making shots. He got to get in the gym and continue to work on improving his perimeter shot. That's a tall ask. I get that. But that's it. What I would also say to UKP is this. They won a title with Andrew Bogut. They won a title with Zsa Pachulia, okay? I don't care. James Wiseman, he comes back healthy with Looney as a backup, with Jordan Poole, with Andrew Wiggins, all right, with the Otto Porters of the world, with Damian Lee. Let's not forget him. I think they got a shot. Now, let me get to your point about Utah. I love me some Donovan Mitchell. And please, I would ask that if you